Okay, so I guess I'll just go with it. Um, so I've been having random depression flare-ups lately, and it's actually been kind of like affecting my mood and stuff like that. I don't specifically know, and it's also been kind of like affecting like how I've been wanting to do stuff on here. I actually wanted to make like a couple of videos, and I just never really got the chance to because I've been sad. Um, with that being said, hold on, let me freaking do this. Uh, Next, let me send it. I'll delete this one and do this one instead. I am so tired. If y'all see me keep looking this way, it's because I'm gaming, and yeah, I'm gaming, and my game's over here. So that's why I keep going to keep looking this way. I actually am planning on investing into a gaming camera. So like that's in the works, but like probably not anytime soon because everything is expensive and I am poor. You guys can help with that, by the way, if y'all watch my videos and stuff like that. But no pressure. I just would rather I'd rather get money off of views than off of donations because if I get money off of views, that means that people actually care about what I'm making. Um, Shoot. Okay, I got one person up in here. Hey, one person, friend or foe? I have to ask that now because like I got like a lot of hate watchers. I'm just not realizing that. And I mean, if you say nothing, then I'm just gonna assume you're a foe, you know. Which I mean, that's fair. Everybody, yeah, it's the internet. Everybody's mean on the internet, so it's no big deal. Well, almost everybody's mean on the internet. I guess I really do need to sort of like readdress that a little bit because not everybody's mean on the internet, but it's like people are meaner in general. Does that make sense? I'm talking to no one. But the fact of the matter is that like people are mean in general, and it's like the more we ignore that, it's like ignoring the fire. It's like if you ignore fire, it's just going to get big. And I'm just like I don't have the means to stop the fire, but I can at least say, hey, there's a fire over there, and that's what I'll do. I'm just a guy who's like, hey, no, I'm here lurking. Okay, I mean, yeah, but I don't trust lurkers because lurkers are usually haters. Like lurkers are usually like haters who are just smart enough to not say anything, so I don't block them. But like at least you're acknowledging it. Oh man, no, not a hater. All right, I've been getting a lot of haters lately, so it's like I have to just sort of like be on my toes here. Peeps just really, really, really been like Peeps been really kind of just sort of like hounded me lately for no reason, which is just I don't know. But like, I mean, I guess I kind of deserve it because I do talk about their favorite president a lot. But sent gold coin for 10 jewels. I have no clue what that is. Gold coin for 10. What is that? What is? All right, I don't know what that is. That could be something. That could be nothing. Um, but by the way, if I hear something going on in the background, it's because if y'all seeing anything, hear anything going on in the background, it's because my roommate is watching a movie. It means I'm here. That's crazy. What is up, True? How's it going, man? OG True up in the building. I really appreciate you, man. Thank you very much for being here. Uh, at some point, I'm gonna go onto my other channel. I've had a couple of adventures lately, and I am exhausted. Sent gold coin for 10 jewels. I have no clue what that means, man. Um, Thanks for the gold coin, 10 jewels. Somebody's gonna have to explain that one to me. Gifts for XP. Uh, is this like a game? This a gaming thing? Oh, okay, I guess. I don't know. I've been okay, True. I've been mostly sad, but but like surviving. Like having chronic depression means I'm going to be sad at random a lot. But I've been for the most part I've been okay. I love this color. I love what the weather is doing for this color scheme, by the way, because it's going to be getting dark soon, and that means that it's going to like start graying up. But if everything looks flatter and grayer, this is kind of like a perfect depiction of my mood right now. But with that being said, I hope things get better for you. I hope so too, man. I've actually been trying to sort of like speak more into good things happening for me because I made a lot of mistakes. Like I made a lot of mistakes for like the past few months, and I'm just like reap sowing. I'm sowing what I reap, you know. And right, I've been sowing a lot of reaping, lady. I've been reaping a lot of sow. I've been sowing. It's troubling times we're living in. We all feeling it. I really do need to remember that it's not just me. I think that's like another one of the things that kind of affects me like mentally is because when I get like really really depressed, we in this together. I really appreciate that. Well, RC, how's it going, man? But yeah, like when I get really depressed, I tend to forget that other people are also going through things, and I just immediately assume that I'm the only one, and that affects my mood for the entire time because it's like I'm smart enough to know that that's not true, but I'm so depressed and I'm just like, nah, I'm gonna believe it anyway. And I'm trying to like shake that off of. I'm trying to like shake that perspective off because every single time I compare myself to other people, I compare my worst moments to their best moments because I assume that they don't have any worst moments, and it's like that's stupid. Don't do that. And it's like I know it's stupid, but I have to believe that anyway. But yeah, I'm trying to unthink that. I'm trying to shape that out of my head a little bit. Um, Shout out to Burrito for the gold coins. I assume that's something. I think that's some sort of like streaming currency. I do appreciate it. Um, but yeah, like I said, I'm basically like reaping what I sow. I made a lot of mistakes these past couple months, and I'm just trying to sort of like make sense of it all and try to shake back from it. Shout out to RC who's in. I'm decent at best. Baby driving me crazy, but hey, is what I mean. Yeah, I mean, baby driving me crazy. It's like that's wild. Of course, a baby's gonna drive you crazy, man. You're a dad. That's funny as heck, man. Bro, everybody is like. I just noticed that like tomorrow is a new day. Yes, it is. I'm just saying that's kind of funny because like I just noticed that like a couple of people up in my community have like kids now. I want to say Maya had a kid, Maya had a kid, and RC had a kid around the same time. So it's like without even trying, my community has gotten bigger, which is kind of cool actually. Like I doubt that they're inherently gonna become fans of my channel, but if that were to happen, that'd be kind of cool. In the meantime, though, um, well, first, also, how you guys been doing? Everything going okay with y'all? Y'all do realize that I'm gonna be doing streams like this where you see my face a little bit less. Just remember, yeah. I'm gonna be doing streams like this a little bit less because this is a gaming channel and I finally got a game now. Just tired as hell. Yeah, believe me, bro. I'm right there with you. Like I said, I do have a story to tell. It's wrestling based, and I am planning on. Are we gonna get a new blog soon? You might, you might. It's like I said, it's mostly just like I ain't gonna lie to you. I have been wanting to like make like stuff. I've been wanting to make like some stuff for a while now, but like I've been so depressed that I've just been like mostly too tired to do anything. But it's like also a lot of stuff hasn't really been going on that's like for me that's been block worthy outside of outside of me like being sad. um I mean, I do, like I said, I do have wrestling. I do have like a wrestling story to tell, but I'm gonna do it on my other channel. I'm gonna like hold back on it for now. And but it's like, it's pretty wild. It's pretty silly. So but I do intend on like getting back to just like doing uploads again. At my other channel. Oh, it's a Kid to the Crate. Hold on. Let me write my other channel in the chat. Let me see. My other channel in the chat is. Oh crap! Hold on. I type too fast sometimes. That is my other channel. Oh, I think you already told me. My bad. Well, yeah, like just in case you forgot, it's right there. Feel free to recopy it if you're not already subbed, or watching stuff or whatever. It's not for everybody, I kind of I didn't end that channel, but the last video I did was obnoxiously cryptic, and I wasn't really trying to be. I was just really sad. But yeah, Kate is 20 years old. Yeah, like this is both of my channels are 20 years old. Like I made these channels you of the OG. Yeah, that's what I always say, man. I've been doing this for 20 years. I haven't. It was like I made my first video in 2006. I want to say. But yeah, like, oh wow, everybody's gone. Okay, no problem. Oh crap, did the ad show up? That's what happened, huh? I got ad. But yeah, though, in any case, I was I forgot what I was gonna say. It was gonna be something. It was gonna be something. It's just crazy seeing 20 years ago on YouTube now. Yeah, yeah. And that's what's crazy is that the 20 years ago doesn't even feel that long ago to me. 2006 doesn't feel like a long time ago to me. Is that weird? It's like 2006. I was in like I was a. I don't even remember. I don't remember 2006 too well, but it doesn't feel that long ago. You know what I mean? It's like I'm still. If you were to say 20 years ago to me, I would still think it would mean the 80s, but it means 2006. That's how screwed up time is for me. It's like if somebody were to tell me, "Hey, man, that was like 20 years ago," I would think my brain would immediately go to like the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Like big old afros and parachute pants and those platform shoes. Everybody was dressing like a pimp. And like the '80s was basically pimp aesthetic. Now that I think about it, the '80s fashion was basically just like pimp aesthetic. Like everybody was basically dressing like pimps. They had the hats, the shoes, the pants. All they needed was a walking stick, and I think a lot of them had it. It was like, bro, you don't even need a walking stick. It's like, why you got a walking stick? You can walk just fine. Like I don't, because you got to lean. They still dress like that, and the sad part is it works. The fashion was dope back then, man. The fashion back then was actually really. I ain't gonna lie, like the aesthetic. Like one thing I kind of noticed about the past specifically. They say handicap or something. Nah, the sad part is that like it was a flex. It was a flex to have a cane back in the day. It's like back in the day, if you had a hard time walking and you had a cane, you was the coolest dude in the yard. Like put that pool table stick back down, player. Nah, dog. That's your sword, bro. That's like the equivalent of walking around with a samurai sword. Old school Japan. But yeah, like I will say though that like the '80s, like looking back like at the aesthetic of everything back then, everything was colorful, everything was like vibrant, everything was like active. It was like I remember when like buildings used to have like little themes to them, and like buildings would actually be shaped in like a creative way and stuff like that. It was like they really did like creativity was at its peak in the '80s. You know what I'm saying? And I hate to sound like an old person by saying that, but it's like creativity was like peak as far because it wasn't just like in your TV screens and it wasn't just entertainment. It was like construction too. Bro, we both thought of the word vibrant at the same time. What the But you know what I'm saying, dude. You get it. What is up? Shout out to Bane the Reckoning for showing up in the chat. Really appreciate y'all for like showing up. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was like those times was very vibrant. It was. I remember before the controversy, the Nickelodeon building, the Universal Studios was like the Nickelodeon building. It had like this. It was like this had this orange, green, and light blue theme, and it looked really pretty. And it looked really like it had like all the. It wasn't just the. It wasn't just like the building. It was the aesthetic. You know what I'm saying? Let's not sleep on the 2000s. Honestly, the 2000s is really like I feel like when the 2000s came around, like everybody was kind of like trying to do the whole futuristic thing, and everybody was trying to do the whole space thing, which I just thought was kind of cool. It's like, and then all of a sudden, everything then corporations just got involved in everything and just made everything flat and gray. It's just like everything is now flat and gray. Like, bro, every building looks like Pizza Hut used to have a hat on it. It's like, how would you recognize Pizza Hut from the other buildings? It's the only one with a hat. Like, I just saw the Speed Racer movie from that period in theaters. To say that is the greatest anime movie ever, really? What is up, Night Ghoul? How's it going? By the way, Night Ghoul, your channel gives me nightmares, bro. You are a scary dude. Like, I mean that, and I mean that with sincerity. I mean that with honorifics, because like I'm not really a big horror guy, but like I definitely would like. I feel like your stuff would actually like. You really should appeal to more like horror people. Yeah, what happened to restaurant buildings, bro? Like crazy. Okay, so I actually know a little bit about the restaurant buildings thing. Apparently, it's apparently like a corporate real estate move. Like I think long story short, is about like saving money or something. I never saw live action Speed Racer, but I heard that it was good. There's other like corporate buildings now, and the sad part is that like, what happened to the pizzazz, right? Like, yeah, well, give me the glitz, give me the tinsel, give me the glitz, give me the tinsel, give me the lights, give me the sparkle, dazzle me. That's what it used to be back in the day. Then corporations got involved and just completely just said, you know what, nah, man, flat gray. That's what we're doing. He's trying to get back to his old style, but that's what I'm saying though. It used to be that Pizza Hut had a hat. You know what I'm saying? Domino's had Domino's like the little symbol. It used to look like the symbol was like leaning onto the stick. Like do you see how McDonald's building looked like in the 90s? Bro, we was there. We see them. The inside of the building will look like McDonald's. Like you would go into a McDonald's and it would look like a McDonald's and stuff like that. It was like, yeah, it looked like this. Everything had a theme. It was like, yeah, exactly. That's the one I'm thinking of. Theme parks. Everything was essentially a theme park. You know what I mean? And that's what it was. That's what it was, man. Everything was a theme park because everything had a theme. Everything had a way of distinguishing itself away from everything else. Like Taco Bell actually was supposed to look like a Mexican monastery. No, a Mexican. I'll forget the word. A Mexican missionary place. It's supposed to look like a church. Was it supposed to look like a church? You're right. What happened to Pizza Hut and McDonald's? Exactly. I forget what the theme was for Taco Bell, but like Taco Bell was supposed to look like a Mexican themed church monastery building or something like that. That's what Taco Bell used to look like back in the day before it became what it is now. It's just like this is a dystopia. It kind of is. It really did sort of take away the whimsy out of everything, and that's kind of something that I feel like as a society we don't really touch on because as adults we're not supposed to have whimsy, and it's like, yeah, we do. It's not childish to have whimsy. It's not childish to enjoy things. It's not childish to like things. It's like people be like, nah, man, you're supposed to be a grouchy, angry person who doesn't like art and who doesn't appreciate the fine arts. You're supposed to look at that stuff and be like, that's childish stuff. No, it's not. Like whimsy is what keeps us normal. Whimsy is hated by people. Yes, it is. Exactly. And like no, it's like whimsy should be hated by people. It's like I really hate the word childish because nothing is childish. Because we're all just taller kids, you know? It's like we still don't know what's going on. We just know a little bit more than we did when we were babies. You know, we still don't know what's going on. We're still hungry. We still eat food. We're still crying. We're just taller kids. You know, like being an adult doesn't mean you have to like lose your interest in things. We all children, low key, bro. Who you telling? That's what I'm saying. It's like, you know, we're just older children. We just pay bills now. Exactly. Exactly. Like being whimsical and having fun. Being whimsical and having fun shouldn't be like against the rules of being an adult. Like I really hated growing up and was told that being an adult meant you were hairy, you're drunk, you drunk alcohol, you smoke cigars, and you talk like this every now and again. And you know what I'm saying? It's just like that's not what being an adult is, man. Being an adult, like you know, I really do hate the fact that we overhyped being an adult and basically like made it seem like it was this awesome thing, and this like literally is just you're still a kid, you just broke now. It's like everything is just more expensive because you have to you have to take care of your own responsibilities. That's the only difference between being an adult and being a kid. Some people think you can't have fun after you turn 25. Man, I remember there was a trampoline park that was being built in my hometown, and it took forever to make. And I remember I was like one of the few people who was complaining about the trampoline park not being there, and people was making fun of me like, "Bro, you grown? Like, why are you like, bro? You a grown A word man? Like, why are you complaining about a trampoline park?" It's like, "Cause I want to jump. I want to jump, dog. That's my workout." Are you serious? That's cardio. Some people get on a treadmill. I get on a trampoline. What? Like, how is that such a like? What's wrong with like, you know, you're a grown man and you're a grown man, so that's why you shouldn't. I feel like the phrase "you're a grown man" and you follow that up with anything just makes a sentence just sound ridiculous. Like, for example, you're a grown man. Why are you eating cereal? I didn't realize that it was childish to eat cereal. You know, it's like you're an adult. Why are you doing things? It's like I can understand I can understand like you know like if it was something like peculiar, like maybe wearing a diaper when you don't need one, or drinking milk out of a bottle. Which, by the way, people still drink out of bottles. Look at this grown man laughing. That's perfect. That's perfect. You got me with that one. That was good. Look at this grown ass man laughing. Probably one of the few times over. That is wild. This adult male, grown as hell, watching anime. Like, it wasn't even crazy, bro. That was a common thing back in the day, bro. That was wild. My woman opened my eyes to having a little fun and enjoying life and not taking things so serious all the time. It helps keep a balance in life. Yeah, that's the point. That's the point. It's not supposed to be like, you know, like I say, you know, if you keep, it's like it doesn't make any sense to be that serious all the time. Well, I'm not gonna say that serious, but it's like, you know, not everything requires like, you know, just stoic behavior. You're grown as hell worried about what another grown man does in his pastime. True it. I'm telling you, bro. You are like, you gotta start making content, bro. You are a funny dude. You are a funny dude. Man, let me find out that True gonna make some content one day and he's gonna be like about 6'7" with a full beard. That's true. Dude was nothing but a nice dude encouraging people to go to a library. They accused him of having dark energy and everything. Wait. You remember the guy? You remember the guy who went viral for trying to get people to go to the library? You're talking about Michael Threets, right? I believe he ended up getting. Yeah. His name is Michael Threets. I know who you're talking about. Is he a light skinned dude with like cool hair and he just like he has like this nice positive energy? It's because if we're thinking of the same person, I think his name is Michael Threets. I follow him on Threads. And somebody was like, yeah, there was a Michael Threets. It's like think the number three. It just put TS at the end of it. I have never met an untalented. I've never encountered an untalented Michael. By the way, hold on. This is who you're talking about. I think you are. That's his name is in the chat now. But yeah, he's just a really like I said, he's a really nice guy. He's a really nice guy. He just wants to tell people, hey, go to the library. And also, fun fact about the library, it's a great place to be at. People think of it and just think, it's just a place with all the books. And it's like, that's a bad thing? No, it's literally like the library was the internet before the internet. Every Michael is so talented, it stresses me. But man, I ain't gonna lie. Every Michael I've ever heard of is like in some fashion talented, or like I've never seen it. I never heard of an untalented Michael. There was never. I don't think I've ever met a basic Michael. It's like it's crazy. I've never met. My parents did me dirty by not naming you Michael. True. Oh, that's funny, bro. The sad part is that like if everybody did name their kid Michael, there would be a lot more Michaels that aren't talented. Man, that's wild, bro. If you're a jerk, people flock to you. If you're a nice person, they hate you. Yeah, going to the courthouse right now, bro. Man, Truett, you need to make content, bro. You need to make content. You are a funny dude. Like, bro, bro. I wish I wish I could acknowledge you. Acknowledge Truett up in here, dog. He's a funny guy. Going to the courthouse right now. Because here's the thing, Truett, I hate laughing, and you make me laugh. But yeah, like I actually was thinking about making a video dedicated to like the concept of cruelty being rewarded, because I had a whole thing I was going to do. I am a nice person. Yeah, I see I totally get it. I totally see it, Night Ghoul, which is kind of ironic because your name is Night Ghoul. It's like he's not just Night Ghoul, he's Nice Ghoul. So what? You're showing only your boss fights now? No, I was no, when I stream, I had a thing that I was going to do. I wanted to stream the boss fight, but I didn't really think I was going to actually get there that quickly. So I was like, rather than like stream it, I was just going to. Such a contrast. But yeah, but no, I actually am gonna get back to streaming, because like what I normally do is I stream my grinding and then I stream the boss battle. Night Ghoul is actually so nice. Yeah, nice Ghoul. He's a nice Ghoul, which I mean we kind of need more of. But I'm getting off of the point that I was on. I actually had a video idea that I was going to make, and it was going to be dedicated to the people, how cruelty is often rewarded. And I had a kind of a concept where I was just going to rant. I was going to talk about how, like when you're a nice person or when you're like a kind person, you're kind of sort of like scrutinized, because you're always scrutinized as being suspicious, or you're sort of measured by like the worst thing that you do. Whereas when you're a cruel person, the cruelest thing that you do could be the thing that kind of makes you successful. And I was going to bring up how that is just kind of like how that sort of screws up people's mentality and everybody's approach to everything, because people are so paranoid about kind people. They're so paranoid about kind people, and they're so welcoming towards cruel people. It's actually really crazy how these things work. I had like a whole video concept based on like dedicated to that, and I was going to make a video about it, but like I said, I was sad. So, shout out to Truett. Yeah, Truett is a cool name. Truett is a cool dude too, by the way. Like I'm genuinely I always get upset that he doesn't make content, or rather, he probably does. I'm going to assume that he does, and I just miss it. Nope, he still hasn't made any. But True, come on, man, come on, man, you gotta give us something. Give us something. Ghouls are better than goblins. I don't understand why. It's kind of hard to explain how I got the name. I always assume that it's because your name is Anthony, and you just call yourself the Truth. But yeah, new content coming 2037, bro. What? I don't know if I'm going to live that long, dog. Come on, man. Meet me halfway. Just do random shorts there. I mean, I said 2037, bro. I don't even, bro. Like, I could literally die later this year. I ain't gonna. I shouldn't say that because then you better stay safe. Then you wild, bro. But yeah, like, but that was like one of the videos I was gonna actually do. It was gonna be because like there was this video, there was this a video of like I didn't know. I went from not knowing new Ghost in the Shell has me hyped. New Ghost in the Shell, you don't want to miss it. Shut up, True. I've been here motivating me to stay alive till 2037. You ain't. True is definitely a graduate of ain't. True is definitely a graduate of Ancient University. I really hate all the cursing that I'm doing up in here. Uh, what you know about Ghost in the Shell? I'm gonna let you know. Bane the Reckoning knows enough about Ghost in the Shell. He's the anime guy. Yeah, Ghost in the Shell anime that directly adopts the manga. Is the manga still going? Okay, that's news to me, buddy. Can you save? But yeah, those is a okay. So like, those is a video dedicated to this guy. Obviously, I'm pretty sure if y'all are like if y'all are into like YouTube essays and stuff like that, y'all know who Chud the Builder is. And I didn't know who he was, and I saw his stuff, and I wasn't really like outraged as much as I was just annoyed because turns out the OG anime standalone complex, none of them are accurate adaptations of the OG manga. It's a good anime. Oh yeah, yeah, it is. I remember liking the what's it called? I remember liking the anime because of the theme song. Chud is just a loser. Yeah, but it wasn't him. I was gonna make a video kind of about like sort of like depicting him, and because I remember because it wasn't him that annoyed me. It was Chad. They showed a clip of him like acting up in this chat, and I saw this chat, and the first thing that went through my mind is this guy has an audience. It sucks that more people are inspired by him. Exactly. The thing that kind of annoyed me is that like people are talking about him, and people are addressing him and talking about him, but what they should be talking about is the fact that this dude had fans. This dude had like people who were in his chat, like saying the stuff like even worse. Even only use me Blade started to do. I don't know. Oh God, is that a clone? What is it, a clone? But that's what I'm saying though. Is that like everybody's rightfully upset at him? Another right wing pipeline. Another one. But that's what I'm saying though. Is that my issue because it's not just him. Right? Everybody's right to be upset with him. But what annoys me is that these people have audiences. Like there's people who are watching these people and are like, oh, I like this. Oh, Blade has been around for a minute. He used to play Call of Duty. Oh, okay. But that's what I'm saying. Is that I just don't like the fact that it's easier to get an audience if you're like doing something terrible or if you're being obnoxious or if you're being a terrible person than it would be for you to just be a normal person. It's it's kind of it's like I say, it goes back to me wanting to rant about welcoming just bad behavior, rewarding just bad behavior. Because at the end of the day, it's I want to because society is bankrupt, and that's the thing. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Maybe it's just because I'm an optimist. Maybe it's just because of the fact that I'm an idealist. But I 100% don't believe that I don't want to believe that everybody is as bankrupt as we are. I do want to believe that there is. I feel like the thing is that it's cruelty is louder. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the majority of the people are not necessarily evil and cruel, but because the loudest people are evil and cruel, everybody is not everyone, but a lot of people. Exactly. It feels like there was it's one thing I noticed is that evil people can organize better than people with good intent can, because everybody on the good side don't really trust each other.
because everybody's doing something. Everybody's like, well, it was going to be like one thing I noticed is that like like right wingers, right? They can organize really well together to get things going. Like I don't know if y'all remember that Shiloh Hendrix thing, but Shiloh Hendrix, for those who don't know, is the lady who called the child the black child the N word, and like basically, and more cruel people are existing because it's easier to be cruel. Yeah, it is. But like for those who don't remember, Shiloh Hendrix was she was the lady who called the black child the N word and like crowdfunded like enough money to become like to like get a whole bunch of money to get herself situated. I mean, it didn't like she was also kind of young, so I'm pretty sure guys also gave her money because they were attracted to her and they thought that that was going to be the way for them to like get her number. But that's neither here nor there. The fact is that she did the thing. She got in trouble for it, and then she ended up getting crowdfunded for it. And obviously, Chud the Builder tried to do the same thing. But the reason why I'm bringing her up, and the reason why I had a thought and it went away from me. Hold on. But it's like I'm bringing her up because of the fact that like once again cruelty. It was because of the fact that like I wanted to bring that up to point out that like it's easier for them to like kind of organize and sort of like rebuild rebuild something like like if somebody said like it's basically racists know how to take care of each other, whereas people who aren't racist don't. Like to put this in perspective, if I said hypothetically speaking that I needed money, right? I'm just SOL because who's going to donate to me, right? You know what I mean? But like if I were to say, but if I were to wear MAGA hats, you know what I'm saying? If I were to wear a MAGA hat and go on like TikTok or Rumble or something and be like, hey, my family disowned me because I support so and so, like the Orange Man good, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm looking at a little bit of money coming my way. You see what I mean? Because good people can't organize and evil people work faster. What is up, Miss Lala Danielle? How you been? Feels like forever since I was thinking. Oh yeah, I think you were my last one, right? How is everyone today? I'm surviving. Hey friend, I watched your Twitch video. I appreciate that. You people are also more active in those corners. Yeah, they are. They are. I appreciate that, Miss. I appreciate that, Charlie Craig. Thank you. Thank you very much. What y'all talking about today? I was talking about like some videos I was thinking about doing before the depression hit and just sort of stopping. But so I'm just rambling about them now. I was talking about how society rewards evil and it's bad. Also, we were talking about anime too, so it's not just all social commentary. It's also we was also talking about anime, the new Ghost in the Shell that's coming out. My Twitter is a cesspool, so you should expect evil there. Yeah, and I do, I do, I do. But like my logic is that but my logic is that good people just need to organize better. That's all. YouTube and Twitch are accessible too, but you can filter them easily. Here's the thing: all social media is essentially like it's just like my video where I said earlier, like it's not social media; it's just social. It's basically like you're gonna find evil people, evil, obnoxious people everywhere because they're everywhere. Like evil people are also people, so they're going to be where people are. Muskie got Twitter and destroyed it. Yeah, essentially. I will always hate. I will always hate Elon Musk. I will always hate Elon Musk fans because Elon Musk has all that money and he could have easily spent less money just like making his own website. It's like he's literally like the pinnacle of like no creativity whatsoever. It's really kind of offensive to like for anybody to like this guy and think that he's innovative because all he does is just I hate Jack for selling it in the first place. It's so bad that I haven't scrolled on TL in 3 years. True, what do you man? True, you don't use social media, bro. I feel like True. Do you use social media? Like I use social media because I want to keep up with like friends and family. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like I'm not one of those people who's like, well, times was better before we had them cell phones because they weren't. Things was more boring. Like people were like closer together, but like all people like where I came from, people was just fighting each other more. People was just fighting each other more because they just happened to be in proximity of each other. So I genuinely don't understand. Like, I mean, sure, maybe times is better for everybody else, but but like, yeah, social media. I don't use social. I only have YouTube. Oh, well, yeah, it's not for like I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna tell anybody. I'm not gonna tell anybody like use social media. But I will say is like there is an upside to having it. You know what I'm saying? I like to stay connected to people. I don't consider myself to be an introvert, but I do like being inside a lot. But like I do also want to be social and hang out with friends. But I'd be tired. So anytime you argue with someone on Twitter, it might be a bot. Yeah, I remember hearing about that. It's like every other like user on there is a bot or something now. That's messed up. But that's what I'm saying though, is that like, but what I will say is that like, in every form of social media, you're gonna find like some of the most obnoxious people. And the thing is that like obnoxious people, like, they're everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna find them. It's like I'm pretty sure dude, there's obnoxious people on YouTube who are probably subscribed to me. And their logic is they just want to hate watch me. You know what I'm saying? I can't do anything about that. But like, but what I can acknowledge to is that like if hateful people can get together and do things, then people who are also good should be able to get together and do things. It's just like when I brought up that assault university thing that was going on. I love being inside. Only time I'm out is if I have to go to work. Yeah, same. What's LMAO about? What are you laughing about, man? That's what I'm saying. Just good people just need to come together and just organize and do stuff. You know what I'm saying? If bad people can do stuff, then good people can do stuff too. People looking for attention. Right. That's my logic. If bad people can get together, then good people should be able to get together too. Good people need to just come together and just like organize and do something because the bad people are doing all the stuff now and they're getting everything that they want. Like good people should be able to do that too. Like, why is it that there's a community of guys on the internet who are just basically telling each other how to assault people? But there's like no, like, where's the groups of people that is like, where's the groups of people that are offering free food? Where's the free food at? Where's the group of people who be offering up free food? Where they at? There was discourse on Twitter because leftists were talking about how they'll vote Tucker Carlson over AOC because of some minor stuff. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, when it comes to like politics, I don't believe in a left. I don't believe that the left is a real thing. I know it seems weird, but it's like I genuinely don't believe that the left is a real thing. Like it feels too much like a boogeyman, and too many people who call themselves leftists online are almost always like suspicious and problematic. I don't believe that the left is real. Like I believe that there's people who don't like the right wing. They are nowhere. They keep the food for themselves. See, that's messed up. but you see what I'm saying though? It's like where's the group of people at that's offering up some free food? Everything is expensive right now. Where's the people who is like making the free stuff at? Where's the community of people out there that's basically saying, you know what? Houses are expensive, food is expensive. Let's get together and make some free housing and with some free food. Where's that group at? You know what I mean? Every single secret society I've ever heard of has like it's just terrible people. There's groups of good people doing good things. You just need to adjust your algorithm. You know what? You're wrong. You're not wrong. What community? That's what I'm saying. I'm looking for them. Oh. Wait, did you not know about the community of the people of the millions of men who just basically got together and just teaching each other how to assault women? It's called motherless.com. I got into a bit of a controversy about that. You know what, Jovi, you're absolutely right. I do need to adjust my algorithm. And you know what? Wait, did you guys not know about that? Did you guys really not know? It was like a big story like a couple of months. It was like literally a big story like maybe last month. It's called motherless.com. It was a group of guys, around a million of them, who basically like they were like giving each other advice on how to assault women, specifically women that they like were close to, and specifically like their spouses or like women that they like met on the street or something like that. It was pretty bad. It's like, I ain't gonna lie, that's a fat L for men everywhere. No, I'm saying, where's the communities and people working together? They exist, but they're very far in between. That's what I'm saying. I knew about it, found out watching a clip from the Jam podcast. Nope, never heard of it. Trust me, it's a fat L for men in general. It's a big fat L for men in general. It wasn't a million people. It was a million people on the website, which is still bad. No, it was more than a million. It was like 60 million. It was over 60 million people. Mostly men. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I know. Like I said, like that was like and the sad part is that like that's probably not the only community of guys who's like that. But that's what I'm saying is that like, you can get 60 million, but that's what I'm saying is like you can get 60 million men to come together to like, do some stuff like to talk about things like that and to make that into a thing. They even call it a university. You know what I'm saying? No, man, it wasn't that many people in the community is what I'm saying. No, there was. I feel like we're talking about two different communities. It says motherless traffic is 60 million people. Yeah, that's what they call it, university. I'm thinking about the group chat of mother that leads to motherless. Those ones that got caught. Yeah, it's disgusting. But that's what I'm saying though, is that like, we have that's what I'm saying though. We have people who do communities like this and do things like this. But it's like we don't have it's like, but I can't find communities that are half as big as that or half as popular as that. University of Chuds. Bro, Truett with the ad libs, man. Truett with the ad libs, bro. Truett, I should be on your live, bro. It's like, yes, exactly. That's a no, man. The group chat is separate from Motherless as a whole, but the group chat is still too large. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think I got them mixed up, but the fact of the matter is that like still just communities like that are a big fat L for men in general. You know what I'm saying? Because of that, that's what we have to deal with. It's like those are the communities that like that's one reason, and that's what I'm saying. Like that goes back to what I was saying earlier about how there's cruelty is rewarded in contrast to other things. You know what I'm saying? Cruelty is rewarded because communities like that are still remaining anonymous. To put this in perspective, there's people in that community who are familiar with what's going on, but like a lot of them are anonymous, so we still don't know who they are, and that's just two of the big controversies next to the Epstein thing. It's like it's just anonymous groups of guys just being absolutely terrible, and like there's either a numerous amount of them or a high amount of money connected to it. It's crazy. But it's like, meanwhile, everything is expensive, bro. Where's the people, like, with everything being expensive? Where's the group of people who's like, yo, man, we're building an apartment for homeless people, and it's gonna be free, and you can just live in there until things get okay. Like, where's that community at? It's like we get the University of Chuds, but we don't get the people who's like actually helping people. It's like being evil is more of a priority now. They aren't doing it for free, but the Amish communities do sell products for a decent price. But yeah, that's what I'm saying is like that should be the Amish community. That's all the way out in Utah, Nevada. Is it Nevada? Where the Amish at? Montana? Where? If you can beat them, I'm trying to remember where the Amish are at. It's somewhere in the West. It's not California though. Is it Colorado? Where the Amish at? Or at least pay a whole apartment complex rent for a year to save up. Exactly. We need community. We need people to band together to do stuff like this. You know what I'm saying? We need, with everything being as bad as it is, it's just really annoying that like we got more people being devoted towards being evil and live streaming themselves, doing all this crappy stuff and just being terrible people. But there's very little devotion or commitment towards actually just helping anyone with anything. Because everybody's too busy going, nah, man. If they're gonna do that, it won't be with my money. I don't know if you heard, Kiki Palmer went to a gas station and paid for like 20 people's gas, and that's what I'm saying. And she's just one person. That's not the Amish are in Pennsylvania, Kentucky, Ohio. Okay, really? I didn't know that was that spread out. I thought Amish was just like in one spot. I'm thinking of the Mormons. That's why I'm thinking of the Mormons. The Mormons are the people that are in Utah. I keep forgetting that Mormons are not Amish. Um, but wow, Ohio? Does she have extra change left? Man, she's rich. Yeah, and some in New York. That's crazy. Amish in New York. I've never. I ain't gonna lie. Like with everything I hear about New York, I would never expect Amish people to be there. That's like you may as well tell me that there's Amish people in California. We don't do that fancy gaudy stuff. Where there's a God fearing folk. But nah, man, that was nice for her. But that's what I'm saying is that like she shouldn't be the only one doing something like that. Especially you got to bump into her at the station, my man. But that's what I'm saying though. Kiki Palmer shouldn't be the only person doing that. What I'm saying is that like if we're living in a society where everything sucks right now, you know what I mean? Where are the people who don't suck at? You know what I mean? Where are the people who don't suck and are working towards making things suck less? Where are those people at? Because we already know about the people who suck. We already know about the cruel people. We already know about the evil people. We already know about the chud the builders and the racists and the guys who get together and want to like harm women. And we already know about all of these communities. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. Like they're all over the place. Where's the good people at? That's the question. Where is the good people at? Where are the good people at that are actually going to organize and meet up with each other and work towards actually doing something to actually help out people? Where they at? Where's those communities? It's like, okay, we seen motherless. Now where's the mother sons? That's a bad name. Bro, you know what makes me mad? What of them podcast people say how much everything sucks now, but he pushed. Yeah. You're talking. Yeah, that's You're talking about I forgot his name. Because it's not. Dang it, he's playing Dan in the Street Fighter movie. He admitted on a live, I voted for him because I'm agreed. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I forget his name. I think his name was. I forget his name. I know who you're talking about because he was like, yeah, that clip got viral like really quick. Not Schultz. Okay, I know who you're talking about. I think his name is Los Pollos or something. Some people only do the good things if they can record it, not from the heart. Dude was like, I don't even know what a tariff is. He did say that. I think what's even funny about that is that people probably told him, and he was like, so what? I don't even know what this is, man, bro. Okay, you don't. And that's what I'm saying is, yeah, like, but my entire thing is that, like, here's my thing about some people only do good for the camera. Put them on camera all the time. If all it takes for them to do good is for them to be on camera, put them on camera all the time. Because at some point, practice behavior ultimately becomes like a part of you. You know what I'm saying? Fake it till you make it, as they say. You know what I'm saying? Like if you act enough, it won't be an act anymore. What are you in the dark will eventually come in the light. Shut up, liberal. So basically what a tariff is shut up, liberal. I need you guys to understand. This is what that was the conversations back in the day. That was the conversations back in the day, true. Like almost exactly like that. Verbatim, brother. Verbatim. That's You guys don't understand, bro. A tariff is you don't know what you're talking about, liberal. But what you are in the dark will eventually come out into the light, and that was another thing I kind of wanted to make a video about too. It's like I believe in redemption. You know what I mean? I do believe in redemption. I do believe, like, while I myself am not a forgiving person, I do believe redemption is a thing. For example, I'm trying to think about somebody who I could say has redeemed themselves. Okay, so I forget his name. Michael Steele. Michael Steele he's a black Republican, but he is like on MSNBC, basically like talking as much smack as he can about the Republican Party, even though he himself still claims to be a part of it. And like back in the day, he was part of the RNC. If you are a fake nice person, you'll eventually get exposed. Exactly. But I feel like if you're a fake nice, I feel like if you be fake nice all the time, at some point is going to at some point you're going to become a really nice person. Like, I'm going to just go ahead and admit it right now. I wasn't always the nicest person. I wasn't always the best person. I have my hangups. I have my blind spots. I 1,000,000% will tell you guys right now, I'm not a good dude by any means, but I'm trying to be. I get it wrong a lot, though. I get it wrong a lot, but I am trying to be a better person because of who I was back in the day. I was a terrible teenager, and I was an even more terrible person in my 20s. And I'm trying my best to be a better person by today's standards because I don't like who I was back then. And I'm trying my best to change that. Because ultimately, like I always say this, if I ever were to become like super duper famous, you're going to find something out about me that is going to probably like just make you lose all respect for me. You think I'm a very decent person? I appreciate that. But I'm just letting you know that's only because you don't know the evil side that I used to have. You know what I'm saying? I'm not proud of that, but I'm just willing to say straight up, like, I'm not, I'm just willing to say straight up, but like, I'm trying to get in front of it. So that way people won't be like, oh my God, I didn't know. It's like, no, you knew. It's like, I was a screw up back then. I had different perspectives back then. I used to be an incel. You know what I'm saying? I used to be an incel. I used to be homophobic. I used to be homophobic, transphobic. I used to also be an incel. I was really close to being a right winger. Had I have not been introduced to right wingers being racist, I would have probably been a right winger right about now. I probably would have been I would have been like the worst right winger too, because I would have been like, why you guys hate the president for? He's not doing anything. You guys just need to, take responsibility for yourselves. That's what kind of person I probably would have been if I was not introduced to just all these racist, bigots, sociopaths who just wanted to like make life miserable for other people. And I'm not like, and I can't stress this enough. Like that, I was dumb growing up. That's the reason why that's one reason why, like, while I myself am not a forgiving person, I do believe a little bit in redemption because not everybody, because some people are actively trying to be better people, but some people just suck. Some people just suck and don't want to change. I am trying to change, and I get it wrong sometimes. At least I'm honest. I try to be. But here's the thing: I'm honest enough to tell you that I lie sometimes. If that makes sense. But yeah, like I 100%. I'm trying to think of somebody who, but yeah, like getting back to Michael Steele. Michael Steele used to be he used to be like an RNC, and he worked for the Republican Party for like a little bit. I want to say he helped. I want to say he was kind of like a factor in at least one Republican president, one Republican become a president. But the fact of the matter is that like obviously he's like one of those types who's like, I don't know what my party looks like anymore. I haven't really figured it out for a long time now. Yada yada yada. And it's like, to me, I feel like he's fully redeemed. I'm trying to be a better person also. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like I really do feel like what we do. I really do feel like as a society, what we tend to do is we tend to like sort of judge somebody based off of like their worst thing. You know what I mean? We all get mad. Part of holding our flesh. That is Oh, we all get mad, part of holding our flesh. That is kind of gruesome sounding. The word flesh always sounds visceral to me. But like I will say though is that like I do feel like we have a habit of judging people based on like their worst thing. But it's like I do feel like if somebody's actively like, and I do feel like if somebody's actually like sort of like trying to display that they are actively trying to change, we should give them the benefit of a doubt. But I also would like to say that it depends on how you feel. Like just because other people think that somebody is redeemed doesn't mean you have to think so as well. If you have your suspicions, retain your suspicions, but just know you retain your suspicions, but just know like until those suspicions are proven, you have to acknowledge that they're just suspicions. You know, like we all battle our demons so yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like there's no such thing as a perfect person. But I do know that like but I do know that like for me for instance, like if I were to try to start a community and try to help out people and try to fix problems and stuff like that, and I come up to you guys and be like, gentlemen, lend me your money and I would try to fix problems. Lend me your money and I will try my best to fix problems that I see that are issues right now. It's like that sounds like a scam, you know? That sounds like a scam. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I'm always saying like, people should like band together and do stuff instead of me trying to do stuff myself because everything I want to see get done costs money. A whole lot of money. And the last thing I want to do is ask people for money. I got my mind. Do, 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 do. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We all battle our demons out here, y'all. But I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get like, ugh, God, I got preachy again. I apologize for that. Oh man, a whole lot of precious time to do it, to do it, to do it, to do it, to do it right. I can't get that song into my head. But yeah, no, that's my entire thing though, is that like I had like a whole video I was gonna make about that. I kind of sort of did it on here, but outside of that, God, my hair looks terrible. I I do this all like one thing about me is that like if I feel like going live, I will. That's one thing. I used to know somebody is like they would be like, I'll be wanting to do stuff, but it's like I would be looking right. And it's like nobody cares how you look, just go out and do the thing. And it's like going, no, you understand, I have to look good for this. And I'm like going, that's fine. Okay. I mean I look like garbage every single time I go live, every single video that I have, I look like fresh hell. But I do this stuff because I like doing it. It's one thing I really don't like about like I think that's kind of like something that I find really annoying about that's something I really find annoying about like content creation is that like it's not content creation is an art form. It doesn't have a specific look. Like you don't have to pass yourself off in such a fashion. Like you could just be a normal person and just do it. You know what I mean? It's like there's so many people out there who's like, I just don't look good. It's like I don't look good enough for this. It's like, but you do though. Like what?
Also, like the prettiest people are shy. I noticed that. Shoot. Uh, you're true, but people would judge you for your looks sometimes. Yeah, I get that, but it's like, so what? I used to actually get really upset when guys used to like make fun of me online, and then I realized a lot of these guys are the reason. Like, I would never forgive the fact that there's guys out there who are responsible for Fleece Johnson being famous. The same dudes that are calling me like that are making fun of me for my physical appearance are the same dudes who made Fleece Johnson of all people famous. We're all humans. Yeah. It's like I'm like, bro, I'm not about to take anybody seriously. You guys probably still think Fleece Johnson is funny. And for those who don't know who Fleece Johnson is, if you ever saw the Boondocks, they made a reference to him. He was the booty warrior. Basically said, I like you and I want you. You know what I'm saying? That was based off of a real person. That guy recently he's out of jail now, but apparently there was like an entire this dude was like famous for basically like his stories about assaulting people in prison, and dudes loved it. Like they thought it was hilarious for some crazy reason. So yeah, he was famous for that stuff for like a rock. He was famous for that crap for like a while. Yeah, that's not cool. Yeah, exactly, it's not cool. But like he was famous for that for like a while, and the reason being was because there was dudes who just was like, "LOL is funny," because it's like it's funny because guys are people do that sometimes. Like it's just crazy, man. But like yeah, but it was like you got to really take. But this guy got famous because other guys found his stories hilarious. The same guys who will probably be like who will probably mock me for my physical appearance are the same guys who looks at guys like Fleece Johnson and go, tell another story about how you did something to a guy in jail. And it's like, bro, come on, man. It's like nothing about this is unsettling to you. True. I need y'all to understand, man. That's kind of what we had to deal with back in the day. It's like the more I learn about other people, like the meanest people, the less appealing. Not appealing. I'm trying to think of what word I want to use. The less influential they seem to me. Like if some random guy insults me online, I don't. It's like I don't know. First of all, it's like I don't know you. First of all, is I don't know you. Why you bother me? But secondly, it's like these guys, like these people who are like anybody who mocks anybody over physical appearance, ultimately is basically saying you're not sexy enough for me. And it's like, who cares? You're a random person on the internet. Appalling. Yes, it is. We didn't want to do YouTube at first because of the drama that comes around social media. Honestly, I like the fact that y'all do YouTube because I think y'all are adorable. Like I say that a lot, and I know I say that a little too much, but it's like I just like I like the energy that y'all carry. I just think that y'all are like the cutest people. And I say this as somebody who hates couples. I see y'all, and it's just like y'all are like adorable. Now it's all good sauce. You don't have to worry about it. I mean, like hey, I feel like as long as I get the context, you good. As long as I get the context, you good. I got but it's gonna take money, a whole lot of money. It's gonna take money to do it, 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 to do it right. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like but you really have to take into consideration that like a lot of the meanest people are just normal people who are they're trying to like just sort of leave their mark on the world. And I think the problem is that like
cruelty, as a Bane has said earlier. I don't know if he's still in the chat or not, but Bane had brought this up earlier. It's easier to be cruel than it is to do anything else. I mean, look at Star Wars. What about Star Wars?
You mean the fact that like the fan base? You mean the fact that like the story is like revolutionary and it's supposed to challenge imperialism, but the fan base are like bigoted sociopaths? Stop making us blush, and we love you too. By the way, do you like Chris Brown? I am not a fan of his. The entire plot is about going against the evil empire. That's which is every story. Every story is about going against the evil empire. And miraculously enough, these people just don't get it, man. They just don't get it. It's like literally like if I'm not mistaken, I think Darth Vader is supposed to be like an avatar for like just American imperialism or something, and peeps just like, nah, man,
He just looks cool with his cape.
unfortunately, I'm not a big fan of Chris Brown, but that's only because of the Rihanna thing, but also because I was never really a fan of that type of music in general. I was never a fan of that type of music in general, and you know, the more I hear about Chris Brown, the more terrible he comes across. I hope I didn't like just sort of ruin Chris Brown for you though.
But yeah, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like that's the reason why I despise Christopher and any of his Delulu fans. Christopher who? I don't know who Christopher is, but you know,
If you say he's bad, I'll take your word for it. You have yet to steer me wrong, even though we argue a lot.
Chris Brown. Okay.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying though. Is that like but what I'm saying though is that ultimately is like oh god, I lost my place.
It'll come back to me. It'll come back to me. Okay, I'm drawing a blank. I was talking about something. What was I talking about? I mean, like a Star Wars.
But yeah, what I'm saying is that like ultimately like normal people online like because it's easier to be cruel than it is to be kind, and like people have this annoying habit of just like you know when people are like you know people just feel like you know oh cruelty should be like cruelty is it makes you more noticeable a lot faster, you know, because like some of the like because like you can't be a good it's like the logic is you can't be a good person and be like influential. You can't matter as a good person, you know what I'm saying? And the problem is that like that's sort of true, but it's like some of the most
Like some of the everything that we hold dear, everything that's long lasting is a result of good people. Like look at the internet. We don't know who made the internet. We don't know who established the internet. We don't know where the internet ultimately came from, but we're using it today. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to like like somebody somebody or a group of people got together and said, we're going to create something that everybody is going to use long after we're dead. And we're still using the internet, right? We're using the internet right now. Right now. As a result of, but we don't know who did it. We don't know who to thank for the internet. You know what I'm saying? But meanwhile, but it's like all the cruel people, all the messed up people, some of the worst people in history, we know by name. And some people are influenced by their cruelty, and some people are influenced by the evil. I love this color scheme, by the way. I love how this all dark, but you can still see me because the lighting is pretty good. I'm not even going to turn the light on. I love this grayscale stuff because I need y'all to understand this darkness is how I'm feeling right now.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying though. Is that like
and no, I'm not being edge lord about it. I've just been really bummed out a lot lately.
um, but yeah, that's what I'm saying though. Is that like at the very core of what it means to be,
at the very core of like what it means to be human, we have to be reminded that some people just think that being evil and being mean is just the way to be. And the thing is, like, I feel like we just need to sort of work towards being better so that we're not. What do you think about AI? Is it good or you think it's bad?
I think AI is I think AI is I think AI art is bad, but I don't think AI itself is bad. I feel like AI, if used properly, could actually be like the thing that sort of brings us into the future. But the problem is that like the people who are using it in the worst ways imaginable, and it's just screwing everything up. It's like AI has potential to be like quite possibly some of the most helpful, one of the most helpful tools that we could have. But the problem is that like we don't know. First of all, I feel like we don't really know specifically what we want to use it on or use it for. So people are just like using it for the most easiest thing they could think of.
And I also think that like AI has the capabilities. Yeah,
The thing about AI is that like it's technology at the end of the day. So it's like ultimately what it's technology at the end of the day. So all it ultimately is it's supposed to add on to what we already got. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not what's what I'm looking for. Like AI isn't a new tool. It's just an extension of an old tool. it's like it's like it's an add-on.
And the problem is that like people are treating it like it's not an add-on. People are thinking that this is
New thing entirely that we just have to sort of
get with, and it's like no.
like. I don't like
AI art though, because AI art ultimately is just stuff that other people have done or other people have established or created, and like it's just sort of being rehashed in the most soulless way imaginable. It's like right now, there's somebody probably out there right now who's making an AI video of me. You know what I'm saying? A guy made a whole AI movie based off his childhood trauma, and like I don't get that. It's like going, why make AI? Why would you make an AI movie when you could just make the movie?
you know it's like the way I see it is that like
If you use AI for something, then you can't say if you use AI for something creative, you can't say you created it. Because all you can do is just basically say you told the AI to do it and they did it. It's the equivalent of being like an executive producer. You didn't really necessarily do any work. You just told somebody else what to do and made them do it.
except in this instance, instead of it being other people, now it's just machines.
It's like it's lazy. That's true. It could be scary if it's in the wrong hands. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's like it's like the good thing is that like people in America are kind of dumb. I don't want to say this to talk smack about anybody in the chat, but it's like
We all know how dumb the average American is. So it's like we don't have to. We don't. The worst thing that we're probably going to see from AI is a lot of misinformation that will be obvious. That will be really obvious to like put together and stuff like that. But at the same time, like the problem is that AI is getting better, quote unquote. But yeah, it's like you'll be able to pick up on it. You'll be able to see it. But yeah, like I think the AI could be used as a okay. It's getting a little darker here now. It's not getting dark here specifically, but it's getting dark in the thing. So, oh my god, I do not like standing up. I do not like standing up. Um, but yeah, though AI has capabilities of actually like being something very helpful and very beneficial. The only problem is that like the only problem is like the people who are using it right now are using it for like the dumbest reasons imaginable, and it just it shouldn't be. It just shouldn't be. AI can never replicate what people create exactly. And the problem is that like people don't want something. People don't want AI to replicate anything. People just want AI to create the thing for them. And it's like bro, just get some drawing lessons. Just like get some drawing lessons. Learn how to program. Just practice editing. Practice editing your stuff. Like if you can devote all that time and energy into like telling a machine to do something for you, then you can do something with yourself, man. Just do it. It's not that big of a deal. The only person who's rushing you is you. Like even now, you can almost tell when something is AI generated. One thing I noticed, like my other thing is that like I'm a strict believer of innocent guilty until proven innocent. So I just assume that everything is AI until it's proven to me that it isn't. I also like I pay attention to people's like lips and stuff like that. Like even now, you can almost tell when something is AI. AI is going to cost those companies a lot of money one day. Yeah, it will. It will. I'm ready for the crash. I ain't gonna lie. Like I'm ready for the crash because us poor people, we're not gonna feel it. We've been poor. A lot of us have been poor for a really long time. Whatever is going to happen financially, is not going to happen to us. It's going to happen to them, and they're going to make it seem like it's happening to us. And it's like, nah, dog, that's y'all. That ain't us, dog. That's you. They're gonna be like, you don't understand, poor people. You're going through it too. No, we not. No, we not. System shock is AI if actually becomes smart and dangerous. Yeah, but it's like it won't be because like, dude, like I ain't gonna lie, like America is not known for being smart, bro. America is not known for being smart, man. My least favorite thing is when people try to make it seem like my least favorite thing is when people try to make it seem like the what's hold on, I'm sorry. My least favorite thing is when people try to like push the idea that there's a possibility that the is gonna turn like it's gonna turn evil or something. Hold on. It's like yeah, I don't. It's like there's always a possibility of it like turning evil, but it's like nah, man. Like America is like America wish it was smart enough to do something like that. AI just isn't in America. I know that, but it won't like But it's like if AI turns evil in another country, we good over here. We good over here, dog. Stupidity won't come to like we're too stupid to like have those kinds of problems. Have you tried typing of the dead overkill? I haven't typed anything like that. No, it's because a lot of money to replace their malfunction than a human. Yeah, it is. It is. But yeah, like my logic is that like AI is gonna the bubble is gonna burst. A lot of people it's like a lot of money is gonna get like a lot of money is gonna kind of like get abused in the process. These stupid billionaires, man, they just really put a lot of money into it, and now they're gonna reap what they sow, man. They're gonna reap what they sow. It won't be our problem. Because like I said, the good thing about being poor is that they're gonna be like, you don't understand. You don't understand. Like it's happening to you too. You don't. You. I have no mouth and I must scream. I don't know what that means. Yeah. Shoot, y'all gonna get like they gonna get it. It's gonna be, but it's gonna be on them. You know, a very common phrase in my bloodline used to be a hard head make a soft behind, and y'all gonna get. They gonna get it. Shoot. But sorry for the typos. You're good as long as I understand the context. I'm just trying to figure out typing of the dead overkill. I feel like are you saying Dawn of the Dead Overkill is a short story that became a video game? Oh, okay. about a supercomputer that brings about the end of the world.
Okay. Totally not cryptic and familiar. Absolutely. Absolutely not.
It's House of the Dead game with typing instead of shooting.
Oh, I've never heard of that. House of the Dead? That's a movie, right? Then again, I think that every does sounds pretty cool. Yeah. I've never heard of it. They're coming in from the right. Got my ops online.
Did you hear about the Tesla that malfunctioned and killed the? I did not hear that.
No, that is I did not hear about that. That is news to me. That is terrifying. But also, that just goes to show that you know, we don't like the thing that will always sort of bum me out about Teslas is that like on in theory, Teslas are a great idea, but Musk like ruined that. You know what I mean? It's like Musk really did screw that up. You know what I'm saying? Like Tesla's had the capabilities of being like,
I have no mouth that must scream, and Ames hates. Ames hates.
yeah, you're gonna have to you're gonna have to revamp that one, brother. I'm not the smartest person. I don't know what that means. But yeah, I ain't gonna lie, like yeah, Musk ruined Teslas, and that really kind of upsets me a little bit because Teslas actually do like they actually are very beneficial and very necessary, and like you know the idea of them is actually a good idea, but like at the same time it's just like you know like I said, Musk came in, messed up everything, and kind of just sort of like he dipped his toe in and
China has electric cars, but they can't be used here.
I wouldn't be surprised. Like, yeah, I want to be surprised by that. I'm not. But like, you know, it's like, bro, in America, we actually have the capabilities. In America, we have like the capabilities, of, like having like some really awesome stuff. We could be having an electric powered subway. We could be having an electric powered train that could get us from Louisiana to New York in like a matter of hours. You know what I'm saying? We could have that. We could have a solar powered. We could have like solar powered you know trolley systems like all across the nation or whatever, man. We could be having like all of this useful technology that we could be using towards like actually like making things better for ourselves. And because of greedy, stupid billionaires, everything sucks. The auto steering malfunction caused a truck to crash. What I'm simply saying is that exactly that's what I'm saying. It's just like we could be like all because of billionaires. Because of the billionaires, everything just sucks, and they're just okay with that. I know I sound like Bernie Sanders right now, but it's like you know, it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous how they managed to like screw everything up that way. It's like you know, it shouldn't things shouldn't have to suck this bad. And the only reason why it does is because of these goddamn billionaires. It's because of the billionaires. I ain't gonna lie. I'm kind of glad that no rich simp came up in here and is like, going, "Well, you're just mad because you don't have money like they do." It's like, no, I'm not mad because of that. I'm mad because they're killing the country. I'm mad because they're killing the country just so they can make more money. It's like you can make money if you didn't like you know
I wouldn't even be check group chat. I wouldn't even be mad that I wouldn't even be mad that what's what we're looking for. I wouldn't even be mad at rich people trying to make more money if they weren't actively trying to kill the nation in order to do it. I'm checking the group chat. Give me 1 second. Okay. I had to check that out. Probably like out of when I get done with the live. But yeah, that's what I'm saying though. Is that like technology? Like in my opinion, technology. I would never say that like technology is like bad or anything like that, because like we need it. We do need technology, but it is kind of like ridiculous. But it's like, it depends on what we do with it. And the biggest problem is ultimately it's never the technology, is what is being done with the technology. And we don't talk enough about what's being done with the technology. It's like it's like it's kind of like one of the few times where I actually have to agree with the right wingers. Like, it's never the gun itself, it's the person who's using it. And I agree. You're absolutely right. Which is kind of why we kind of make sure that some stuff just shouldn't be used by the worst people. Shoot. But that's what I'm saying though, is that like, it's a lot. It is a big discussion, and I just feel like I don't. But I'm also not a smart person. I don't know Jack when it comes to like what's what I'm looking for, when it comes to like discussions about technology and things like that. But I do feel like we kind of do need to sort of address that. We do need to sort of address that. Like, some people just suck. Like some people just suck when it comes to like technology. Like, there was this Robot Chicken sketch I remember where there was this scientist convention, and there was like technology makes something easier. I'm not gonna lie, exactly. There was this Robot Chicken sketch where this these scientists were like getting together, and they had like this robot, and it was like this robot woman that was this dude was like basically like debuting his new robot servant, and the robot servant was a woman. No, it was either a woman or it looked like a woman, or it was woman adjacent or something like that. And it was like, he just did this little presentation, basically talked about how convenient talked about all of the bells and whistles that this robot had. And one person just raised their hand and was like, any questions? And one person raised his hand and go, yeah, can you hump it? And it's like, and I was like, it was a Robot Chicken sketch. I can't find it, but hold on. I'm going to try to find it. I'm going to link it in the chat. Hold on. Crap, I can't find it. Hold on, I'm gonna try to find it. Hold on. Oh, this is gonna be loud as heck. Hold on. All right. So here is, like, when it comes to technology, this is what I immediately assume is like the approach towards it. I hope that y'all can see this.
And the power cell recharges as it moves. It's a revolution in robotic longevity.
Yes? Can you fuck it?
Excuse me?
Can you fuck it?
No.
Oh, who
Gee,
needs
come on.
Oh my god.
I seriously hope that, like, oh man, I thought that was going to be censored. God, man, that sucks so bad. But yeah, that was kind of like that was a Robot Chicken. I should have just like scanned. I should have just like put the link in the chat. I'm going to do that next time. That's like, I never get it. Why you pay for internet? That was already here, internet in the first place, just like charging us for satellite. Yeah, ultimately, yeah. Because billionaires. Because billionaires. I feel like, yeah, Robot Chicken. Oh God, man, I was really hoping that they censored the "Can you F it" part, man. But like, that's ultimately what technology is for me. It's just like people who are added, like people get like this people get like this they get this shiny new toy, and the first thing they want to do is put it in their nose or put it up their wherever or something like that. It's just like, shiny new toy, you gotta destroy. Man, I really do hope that, like, man, I hope I don't get muted for that cussing. I try my best not to curse on here. I don't know if y'all noticed that or not, but like Truett obviously got it out of me earlier today. But yeah, I try my best not to curse on live too much for a multitude of reasons. One, I'm trying to expand my vocabulary, and I can't do that if I'm trying my best to expand my vocabulary. And two, I think that foul language is like a demonetizing sort of thing. So I try my best to sort of be careful about it. So that's one reason why I'm a little paranoid about that man, that clip cussing. Some nights I wake up. I hope so. Well, like, yeah, Robot Chicken actually is a pretty good social commentary now that I think about it. Because there was another clip where, I don't know if y'all remember that show, what was it, like Wish Island or something like that? Where somebody was like, you can come to our island and, we could make all your dreams come true. And one dude was like, yeah, when do I get to do things to, and I was like, no, when do I get to do things to a donkey? And I'm like, what? And the guy was like, what did you say? And the guy said, when do I get to do things to a donkey? And I was like, bro, that's what you want to do? I ain't gonna lie, that was a Robot Chicken was a funny show. Yeah, though, I do appreciate y'all for like coming to the live, man. Because I ain't gonna lie to y'all, I'm still depressed and I'm still kind of bummed out. But like y'all, like for the most part, y'all really did pull through and sort of like get me out of it a little bit. So it really kind of helps. It does help. With that being said, though, it is like, I don't know what time is it? Okay, show of hands. Who's still out there right now? Robot Chicken was very rated R. It was, and it was hilarious. It was hilarious, and like I said, it was also really good social commentary. Like a lot of what they talked about is surprisingly very much like funny stuff. But yeah, show of hands of who's still up in here right now. I'm trying to get a head count. Well, I hope you know I will carry you. Man. So I've been rambling on and on about how I've been going, how I've been feeling, and what I've been thinking about and stuff like that. But how y'all been? Y'all been okay? Y'all been going through. Y'all had good days. How was y'all Cinco de Mayo? I actually have a story about my Cinco de Mayo as well that is also wrestling based. Some nights I wake up cashing in my bad luck. Some nights I call it a draw. Some nights I wish that my lips could build a castle. Some nights I wish they'd just fall off. But I still wake up, I still see your ghost. Oh Lord, I'm still not sure what I stand for. Oh, what do I stand for? What do I stand for? Most nights I don't know anymore. Oh, I worked on Cinco de Mayo. No, I got a video request to do. Hey, good luck. Hey, I can't wait to see it. Y'all got a request now? Yo, I can't. Yo, I need to start going live. Yeah, don't let me stop you. I appreciate you for like stopping by. I can't wait to see that video request though. Love and peace to you. Yeah, I worked Cinco de Mayo too. It was a Tuesday. Yeah, like I said, I worked on Cinco de Mayo too. It was a Tuesday, so yeah, it was nice. I actually liked the. I actually my Cinco de Mayo was actually pretty nice. It was I had a wrestling thing that I did. Like like I said, at some point I'm going to ultimately talk about it. But like right now, I am like I'm still kind of bummed out about what happened to me wrestling wise. But like I'll it's a lot. It was a lot. These past couple of days have been kind of tough. So yeah. If Chris Brown requests someone wanting us to do is Chris Brown requesting? You sure that it's him? Are you sure that it's him? Like, not. I'm not trying to take it away from you, but I'm not trying to like take anything away from you. But it's like how do you know that it's specifically him? It's like, first of all, I'm really glad that y'all are getting like requests like that. That's actually really dope. But like, what in the world? I'm playing a game right now, and it's also like this thing really cheating. been so good. I've been helpful and friendly. I've been so good. I've been so good. I've been so good this year. I've been so good. Why is life getting harder? Why is I've been so good? Where the hell is the karma? I've been so good. I've been so good this year. Time. Da, 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 da. I know everything's fine.
It's a Chris Brown song someone wanted us to drop.
Oh, okay. Somebody wanted you guys to sing the song? Is that what that is? Oh, do somebody wanted you guys to review the song? Like, somebody wanted y'all to like do a reaction of the song?
It's a Chris Brown song someone wanted us to.
Yeah, okay. Well, I can't wait to see. Well, I can't wait to see how it goes. Like, I'm not the biggest Chris Brown fan, but I do support you guys, and I can't wait to see how you guys do. But yeah, like I said, I'm definitely out of the loop with that guy.
Bells, I'm glad to see you're on. Thanks, Night School. I appreciate it. By the way, Night School, have you been making more content lately? I remember you were. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm looking at your channel and it's terrifying me all over again.
I ain't gonna lie, man. You definitely got some scary stuff on there, bro.
I like that. Night School, and I need to start making more content.
Yeah. Like, I really do feel like, because like a lot of people do like the creepy, scary stuff, and like a lot of people like the creepy, scary stuff, and I really do feel like you could probably like, you could probably get quite the audience with that. Like people love that weirdness, Like you got a niche, man. You got a niche. It definitely works.
Thanks. Try to keep it scary.
Yeah. Hey, I totally get it. I just need you to know though, like I'm a bit of an easily scared person. So I'm gonna probably steer clear. But I'll be rooting from the sidelines. Yeah, people love weird stuff. People love like scary stuff, especially when it's like, something that's something that they don't know. It's like, one thing I love is like people love it when the story is true or could be true. True. And like, I think the scariest stuff I ever heard of is Appalachia.
Thanks so much. I appreciate your help.
Yeah, I'm glad to do it. I think the scariest stories I think I ever heard of are like, people who don't come back from like going into the, from like, I think there's a thing where it's like, how do I feel about Saw movies? I never saw them. Yeah, I'm not a fan of horrors. I'm not a fan of a horror. So it's definitely not, I never really like actually was interested in those, but like I heard that ultimately is like commentary for like the health industry. Is that true? It's commentary for the health industry, right? Like it's just basically like, hey, stop effing with people's like recovery programs, or they're gonna go crazy. It's like somebody once had told me that, basically it was just about a guy who was just really really upset because he was like like a cancer patient or something, and they basically like overcharged him, and he just went on a rampage. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like essentially, but yeah, it's like I'm trying to remember like how the stories in Appalachia went, but like basically like there was a legend that you're not supposed to whistle at night when you go outside in the dark in Appalachia because like that's how you go missing, because there's like spirits out there that are apparently like actually real beings, and they will kidnap you. But like that's the scariest thing I ever heard. So it's like when I go outside, I make sure not to whistle. No matter how catchy the song is. Yeah. It's like just when you get the chance, look that up. Like, like why you shouldn't whistle outside at night in Appalachia, in the Appalachia area, like in the Appalachian Mountains area. Like I think it's a indigenous. I want to say it's an indigenous thing, but like it's just something that people just be mindful about, because like they think that, if I'm not mistaken, the logic is that it's true. What about sundown towns? I think they're the most scary than any spirit. Well, if they're scary, I mean, I'm pretty sure they're not scary unless you're. I'm pretty sure there probably would be a problem unless you're black. Sundown towns is literally like a bigger threat for me than probably. I don't know what you. I don't know. What your where your racial identity is, but like if you're black, yeah, those are. Yeah, you're definitely not safe. There is actually a very common thing that well you understand it, but there is a very common thing that is said in the there's a very common thing that's said in black community is basically like go outside, come inside before the street light comes on, and that's a reference to sundown towns, because the reference is that like if you're outside at night, you can get kidnapped. So that definitely is something that is kind of like that is a sundown town reference. Yeah. It's like coming inside. It's like come inside before come inside before the street lights come on, and that's basically because yeah, we don't want you getting arrested. We don't want you getting yeah. Because you don't know, because at that time you didn't know what was and what wasn't a sundown town, because like racists back then didn't exactly tell you, oh, by the way, you're living in a sundown town now, you know. Yeah, it's a history thing. But yeah, like when you get, I'm definitely letting you know, like when you get bored, just look up like if you're really into the horror stuff and really into the scary stuff, I definitely recommend like just what's what I'm looking for. I definitely recommend looking into just reading up on like history stuff, man. History is crazy. Like history is like scary, bro. Or rather, it can be. Yeah. And like I'm seeing your channel, and it's very clear that you clearly do, you clearly do have a thing for like scary stuff. So hey, like history is like your best bet. Uh, because there's a lot of scorned wives who like true crime. Like I want to say true crime is terrifying. Historical true crime stuff is definitely like that's your alleyway for sure. But I see that you actually make content. It's like if I can, I try my best to help out. But I mean, obviously, do whatever you want. That's not for me to like tell anybody what to do. But like I see your stuff. It has potential. You just gotta do more with it. Like I've been at this for 20 years, and this is the most subscribers I ever got. Da, 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 da. Some nights I wake up cashing in my bad luck. Some nights I call it a draw. Some nights I wish that I could build a castle. Some nights I wish it would just fall off. But I still wake up. I still see your ghost. Oh Lord, I'm still not for sure. I think it's still pretty good. Do I believe in ghosts? Yeah, I do. I believe in ghosts. I believe in spirits. I believe in all that. But like, not enough to be like superstitious though. That's cool. What about Wolfman? I don't believe in the Wolfman. Um, I don't believe in like Wolfman because I feel like in this day and age we would have like definitely gotten a picture of that by now. Like a lot of cryptids, like a lot of like animal cryptids and stuff like that. I don't believe that they exist. It's not that, or rather, I don't believe if they. I believe that they existed. We probably would have at least seen one by now. Oh boy. But yeah, I do believe in ghosts though. I do believe in ghosts. I do believe in spirits. I don't believe it's like I believe that ghosts and spirits exist, but I don't believe that they interact with the living like we think that they do. You know what I mean? I think that they just sort of like I feel like the afterlife is just all that's what it is. It's just life after death. And you basically just is like, it's like a completely different realm. So you don't really see what's going on. I feel like the afterlife is ultimately just like they don't really see us just as much as we don't see them. Like I'm pretty sure George Washington is probably like somewhere in the afterlife right now going, living people aren't real. What's wrong with you? I have no clue how George Washington would have sounded. But I do believe that spirits. I do believe that spirits are real, though. I just don't think that they interact with like. So somebody actually brought up a good point. Is like if spirits could interact with the living world like we want them to, there will be a lot less of a certain type of people. You know. Shoot, I'm sorry about this, y'all. I really hate it when I like. This is when another big reason why I wanted this to become like a gaming channel is ultimately because there's a lot of like times where it's just like me just being quiet for a long time, and like right now it's because I'm playing a game and I'm kind of focused and like I feel it's like I don't like the idea of like that dead space right there because it really does feel like I just am not. I don't know how to explain it. But yeah, but I do appreciate. But that is definitely probably like my cue to Bizounce. So I'm gonna go ahead and do just that. Real quick. So with that being said, I want y'all to know, I need y'all to understand. Just know that you are more than a person. You are an experience. You can either choose to be a good experience, a bad experience, no experience at all. I definitely recommend being a good experience or no experience because why would you want to be a bad experience, right? Like cruelty is not helping anybody. Why would you want to be a +2 to 10 on somebody else's bad day? It's ridiculous. With that being said, just spread love and spread peace. And if you can't spread any of those, spread nothing. Remember, being mean is mainstream, but being kind is punk rock. And, punk rock is kind of forever, and mainstream just goes with the times. In the meantime, though, spread love, spread peace, spread happiness, be good to each other. Everything is kind of rough right now. We're all going through it, and we definitely need each other right now. So that's about it. Love and peace to every single one of y'all again, and see y'all at the next one.